Personality theft, how manipulators copy you to control you. They don't win your trust. They build it, not with truth but with imitation. With your own words, your own wounds, your own reflection. They study how you speak, echo how you hurt, mirror what you believe, until you stop seeing them at all and start seeing safety. They don't come at you as they are. They come as you, as the version of yourself you most want to be understood by. Because when someone feels familiar, you don't question their intent. You welcome them in. The reflection trick. The fastest way to earn someone's trust isn't honesty. It's similarity. Not real similarity, but projected, artificial alignment. If you see yourself in someone, you drop your guard. You feel seen, understood, aligned. Because we don't question what feels familiar. We embrace it. Manipulators know this. So they mirror you, your opinions, your values, your story. They laugh when you laugh. Pause when you pause. They take on your slang, your tone, your triggers. They mimic your insecurities just enough to appear vulnerable. They agree with your judgments just enough to seem trustworthy. It's not conversation. It's calibration. It's rehearsed harmony designed to bypass your defenses. Even their silence is calculated. They'll mirror how you process pain, how you argue, how you forgive. Because when someone feels like your emotional twin, you don't look for motives. You accept them. And the more they reflect you, the more they erase themselves and become the version of you you've always wanted to meet. They aren't building connection. They're building camouflage. They don't want to be close. They want to be allowed in without suspicion. The study phase. They don't need to be smart. They just need to observe. Not actively, just attentively, silently. They sit through your stories not to connect, but to collect. They listen when you vent. They clock the phrases you repeat. They memorize the names you mention with hesitation. They listen for the silence between your sentences, the spots where pain lives. They learn what you're afraid of, who hurt you, what you want. They learn your attachment style, your coping mechanisms, your blind spots. Then they become it. The friend who finally gets it. The lover who's not like the others. The leader who shares your rage. The stranger who says exactly what you needed to hear before you even said it. They validate you with precision. Not too much to seem fake. Just enough to feel rare. They wrap themselves in your trauma like armor. Not to heal you, but to move closer without resistance. You're not falling in love. You're falling into a mask. And the scariest part? Fits perfectly. The switch. Once the bond is strong, the real game starts. Now that you trust them, they start shifting the dynamic. Not in ways that are obvious, but in ways that make you feel uncertain. They test boundaries, then deny they ever did. They break small promises, then act like you're overreacting. They start to contradict themselves, just subtly enough to make you question your memory. You make excuses for them. You defend their inconsistencies. You tell yourself they're stressed, tired, overwhelmed, anything but dishonest. You explain their actions to your friends while hiding your own doubt. You dismiss the gut feeling that something's off. You bury the unease because confronting it means confronting the foundation you've built the bond on. Why? Because they're still wearing your face. They still know the right things to say. They still speak your language of pain and healing. They know how to sound like your ally while acting like your handler. They twist accountability into guilt and concern into control. And you'd rather question yourself than the person who feels like home. Because if they're not who you think they are, then maybe you're not either. And that's a reality most people would rather avoid. So you stay. You shrink. You surrender to the mask you once mistook for a mirror. Ending. This isn't admiration. It's identity theft. Not to steal your name, but to steal your loyalty. To gain access to your choices, your priorities, your mind. They didn't fool you. They shaped you. They sculpted your trust from your own scars. They built you into the kind of person who'd follow them willingly. You weren't tricked. You were designed. Personality theft isn't flattery. It's control dressed as connection. It's coercion disguised as chemistry. And by the time you realize it, your voice has their fingerprints. Your beliefs echo their agenda. Your silence is no longer your own. Warning. This tactic doesn't leave bruises. It leaves erasure of self, of clarity, of boundaries. Protect your identity not just from strangers, but from reflections that feel too perfect to be real. Thanks for listening. Please remember to subscribe